Okay. That looks really cool.
Okay.
No one can see it yet, but that looks really cool. Ta-da!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Monday.
Yay. I'm still waking up. Yay. Hello, and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I did not put my name tag on it. Not that it matters. For
I
you all.
was going to bring that to you, but then,
Don't wait on me hand and foot.
breakfast.
I gotta get my name tag. Hang on. Man, Liz.
Vamp. Yeah. So.
Breakfast? What is your breakfast this morning?
Lemon Oreos.
Lemon Oreos, yes. Okay, so what were you going to say? I'm just going to show everyone my
I was going to say, that's Rebecca.
Hi.
She's the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
I usually give a weather report, Liz.
And
you're the weather
it's
guru.
Cloudy, but supposed to be not rainy, Brevard, North Carolina.
Not rainy today. Rest of the week. Oh,
yeah.
Rest of the week. Land where the water falls.
And falls.
And falls. Yes. So
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. Before we forget.
I thought we were swapping. I should be like, this is Liz. She's the minion there. It doesn't matter. It's all good. So anyway, hi. Welcome to the start of our week.
It's already crazy.
It's yeah. I think it's gonna be better than last night. So at least it's gonna go uphill, hopefully. No, I was telling Liz, my cat woke me up 3 times last night, like every couple of hours. And oh my gosh. First time I had a shoulder exposed, so he bit it. And that was probably around midnight. But I could tell, I mean, it was like woke me out of a deep sleep, was like, what the but I could tell he knew what he was doing because he didn't bite me really hard. He nipped me. He totally was just trying to wake me up. Totally. And then 2 hours later, he licked my face. I felt him, like, at least it was even more gentle because I felt him walking up. I thought he might want to snuggle. He was he was not settled at all. Like there were times when he was snuggling and I wasn't sure if he was going to attack me. But this time he walked all the way up and he licked my face and then he jumped down and meowed. And I was just like, no, cat, no. And then at 4:00, he didn't even bother to get up on the bed, or he might have just jumped off the bed and he sat in the doorway and meowed and meowed and meowed. And I'm like, fine, I will get up. Because at this point, I'm thinking he's sick. Yeah. At this point, I'm thinking he keeps trying to wake me up.
There's something wrong. Yeah.
So I went to check in with him. I'm like, are you okay? Should we look around for bodily excretions? And so we went downstairs to look for, he's like, oh, good, we're going downstairs. And actually, as I went down the stairs, I heard my pet fountain coughing. It's possible he was trying to alert me to the pet fountain being out of water. That would be like his version of Lassie barking, like, where's Timmy down the well type of deal, right? Like, like that's his attempt to communicate to me, right? Is to bite and lick me and just meow his head off, instead of the Lassie. It's like, I tried to tell you about this, Mom. So I put more water in that. He also could have been saying I'm hungry because he's always hungry. So I put a few more food and treats out and I went to bed. I also turned off, I had my fan running last night instead of the AC. So I don't know which one of those things. Like I didn't have time and energy to run a scientific experiment dealing with one thing at a time, one variable at a time. I just fixed all of them and went back to sleep. So I'm a little tired today. Anyway, yeah. So that was mine. And then I got like basically the HelloFresh box peed on me trying to throw it out today in the dumpster. So yeah, it's been a fun day so far. And I spilled coffee on myself. New shirt, left the old one at home, kind of rinsed out, hopefully going to be okay. But yeah, I made sure when I texted you that I'd spilled coffee on myself and needed to like deal with it, that I also said
that it wasn't hot.
it wasn't hot. I didn't burn myself. This was like the end of my coffee. Has anyone ever taken a sip of coffee where you kind of misjudge where your mouth is?
No, never.
I kind of was like,
Coffee,
what
Coke,
happened?
water.
Oh,
Nope,
it's gonna
never been there. I
gonna
don't
be a
know
good
what
day.
you talking about.
And it was, I've got this shelf here, so it was, yeah. How's your day going? So on Tuesday we usually talk about how our weekend went and all the stuff we got done and or like didn't get done or whatever. And you got one magnificent thing done.
Got one thing done. But I can talk about what I did last week too. So
Well, I think what you did is important. Well, okay. It's all good.
well, fine. I'll talk about what I did.
What
this
do you
weekend.
want to talk about first?
So Saturday night, I went home and started making dreads because I was like, I have this set of Rolex done to make dreads, and I really, really, really want them.
Passion project.
And so I got 15 done Saturday night, and Sunday I made 70 between 12:30 after lunch and 10:58 p.m. Like
That's very
I was
exact.
like, I'm going to, well, I wrote everything down on it, like just so I could count.
You documented it?
Yeah, I documented it so
Wow.
I could count, like, okay, how long is this really taking me? And it was
It's
because,
impressive.
so some of my dreads are actually two colors. They're red on the top and then white on the bottom. And
That's cool.
it took a half an hour to prep them to get them ready to dread. Like I do a whole bunch of them, lots of clothespins. It was intense. But it took a half an hour between felting sets.
Mhm.
So like an hour and a half, I could felt 9 or,
Well,
anyway.
and
so
some are twistier than
some are
others,
twistier than others.
and some
but
are braided.
yeah, this is what I did.
She's a frosty princess.
There's even blues in here.
Yeah,
Like I got dark teals and light teals, and anyway. But this is what I wanted. I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to do it.
That's awesome.
With it. There we
That's
go.
really awesome.
So, and then all day yesterday, putting them all in.
Mhm.
So I didn't dye my roots. There's kind of all, but I couldn't.
I don't
have
think
done that
anyone's gonna stare at
in
your
one
roots.
day. No.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I don't think it distracts from the overall look. Were you going for a certain look? Was there a vision in?
I wanted the red and white,
Mhm.
and there's some solid reds.
There's no
and
name for
pinks.
that though. It was just.
It was like frosted cherries or something.
like
Like it was a set of synthetic dreads that I saw that I was like,
You're
I
like,
have to
I can
have
do that.
those. And I was
and
like,
some
out
of that
wool.
some of that is yarn from the shop, right?
Yes.
Just a little bit. Like most
So-
of the fuzzy is not.
They're in my add-ins. There's red ones. There's the white ones.
The stuff that kind of looks like a Celtic, like
Oh.
not ropey something. Okay.
It's the walkabout is my cross.
Did you cross it in and then felt it on top of that? Or?
No, I felted the dreads and then held them together and
Cool.
did the little Brady things. And I want to make more, but I have to make more dreads because I counted up my dreads and I was like, okay, I have what I need. And then I made like 3 little add-ins, and I was doing my hair, and like in the very back, I was like, I have 12 left. No, I have 13 left, and I have 12 dreads left. And
So
then,
is there random hair in the back of your head that didn't get?
no, actually, I found one. There was one extra dread that the twisty bit where it twists together had like pulled apart. And so I was like, I bet I can spit join this. So I went to the sink and got just that little section, and I rolled it, and it held. So I had exactly the right amount to, If I'd made more add-ins, I wouldn't have.
That's awesome though. That's very cool. So my big finish for the weekend, and then we'll go back to the thing you started, because then we both have things that look like that. I finished my dragon. Ta-da. I have to pack him up today or tomorrow to send to my niece, but he has wings and toes. I added the toes from the pattern. Everything else is mostly part of the pattern. I decided to give him little eyelashy, eyebrowy things from putting the eyelids on for him. So I'm hoping my niece likes him. There are parts of him that I'm still like, I couldn't. No, I'm done. I'm done.
I
Her
like
birthday
the
is
toes
next week.
because it helps like show that there's feet there if you're just,
rather than little, he looked like he had weird little stubby clumps, and now at least it looks more like he has feet. So I'm very proud of him. I had to crack into a second ball pretty much just for the ears and sewing him together. So somebody here with me, and I think you were involved in the conversation, was talking about how I should make another one of these for the shop. And I don't know if I'll make the sleeping guy or there's a standing one, because I have a bunch of wire now. I have more wire than I need, because this took like 2 pieces of wire, and I got a bunch off of Amazon. So I'm tempted. I was gonna say, but I should do him in shop colors then, but I have so much of this left. Or he could be gray, or the standing one has like a belly color. So there could be more options for that. So I'm thinking about it since I have all this extra, because all of this is sparkly Encore stars. So
it sparkles.
Yes, I am very proud of him. He's going to hang out right there for the rest of the episode. Again, he's going to get sent off to my niece soon, because her birthday is, I think, a week from today, actually. So yes, it's time to get it in the mail.
Because I've also got to send Kaya her.
So her stuff
for her.
So I think I might have showed you guys the beginning of, well, actually, let me see if I can go through this in order. Let me see where did I put my Montana bag? Ah, there it is. Okay. So the knit along, crochet alongs, next month, which is Friday is the start of next month. I finished, for the most part, I haven't sewn any ends in, but I finished my Montana bag. Here is my Montana bag with its little,
It looks so cute.
You can do a little cross. Open, it's like this. It has, I've kind of tied the ends together. It's got a little crochet chain that you can do that with, which you can make the strap for this shorter or longer, but you can pull it shut and open it up. I did not have to crack into a third skein for this of the Cotton Supreme DK Waves. But I also didn't make the tassel that's part of the pattern that you could make. And I haven't decided, maybe I am going to leave this on the outside, but then it's got this long thing. I think in theory, this piece that you can pull, you could then tuck inside if you wanted to. But if you wanted it to stay shut like that, some way to fasten it, that kind of thing. It is very cute. I had a lot of fun making it. I think for the knit along itself, I keep calling it that because, brain's tired and I default to what I know. For the crochet along for this, I think I'm also going to try making it out of one of our worsted sturdy cottons to see how it compares. Because this is nice and soft and squishy. Don't know how durable it will be then. I think it'll be durable enough. So this is a great option if you want a color changing yarn to make your crochet bag out of. And I will be doing some basic videos about like how to crochet into both ends of a chain, both sides of a chain for the bottom of this, and maybe how to do the reverse single crochet for the top of this as techniques that are used in a lot of things. The main stitch for this, I've talked to the pattern writer and she'd prefer I didn't do a video on it because that's integral to the pattern and buying the pattern. And I totally respect that. So I have a class on Saturday for locals if you want to get some practice using this stitch. Regardless, if you're going to do the crochet along, we'd like you to buy the pattern. It's actually 15% off through the end of July with the code Sun Dragon, no spaces, at checkout on both Etsy and Ravelry. And we'll do our knit along and crochet alongs are really about the joy of, yay, everyone's making the same thing. Woohoo! Not so much a given time or place or class unless you sign up for the class kind of thing. So that is starting at the end of the week. And I'll start another one.
But how much did you have left over?
Very little.
So
from the second skein, very like here. It's in.
Did you
it's
get
in here that much
gauge?
I never really checked for gauge.
So
I think it's about the size it's supposed to come out, but I never checked for gauge. So yes.
So you might, if you're planning on making this out of the same yarn, you might want to have 3
just in case.
Just in case.
Because yeah, this is all I had left of my second skein. And if you want that beautiful tassel on it and stuff, you want some wiggle room, or if your gauge is different than mine, yes, getting a third skein is optimal. I think out of a thicker yarn, which usually has less yardage, you will need 3. So I'm pretty sure the nifty cotton that I would like to make this out of, I have to make sure there's enough in stock for me to do that. I'm gonna need to use 3. That one, maybe I'll try a tassel. We'll see. So moving along.
Big into tassels.
What? I'm not, but the pad, it has this big chunky. Someone emailed, shout out to one of the Donnas. We have a lot of Donnas. She was just like, where are you getting your beads? Because there's big wooden beads on the pattern. And I said, we don't have beads in the shop, so I'm not. There's like, sometimes I'll buy extraneous things like the stuffing and the wire for this guy, but for the most part, if it's not something here in the shop, and this is for a present for someone, it's not something we sell in the shop. Sometimes I don't do it because we can't tell people where to get it, or we can, but you know, if it's not from the shop, I'm really trying to help promote my shop, you know? So, but all of that is to lead up to, so every month I'm trying to get something going for one craft, and I'm alternating crafts. And yes, it's a little bit exhausting, but it's also fun. So next month is crochet Montana bag. I'll put a link in the description for this. The following month, I'm gonna do a brioche. I'd like to do a brioche cowl by Lavania Patricella. That the brioche bandana cowl, and it's written in 3 different thicknesses. I have not started that yet. That should be on my to-do list. I got so excited. I've been like going down a crochet rabbit hole lately, which is awesome because I've been neglecting crochet for a very long time. So I did this and I did this, and the September, so August is going to be knit brioche. September is going to also be a crochet along, and I figured, why not? Let's get started on that. And I picked a really cool looking pattern that just came out. And a reminder, all of our knit and crochet alongs, they are free to participate. We do ask you to get the pattern from the pattern writer to participate, to support them in the work they've done to create this. So it's this super simple log cabin shawl, and the log cabin is like, it's a V-shaped shawl, and it has these stripes that come in that interlock, kind of like a log cabin effect in quilting, right? Kind of, you know. And so I started doing rainbow one, and I was having so much stress, and people were like, well, why don't you like color pencil it? And I, all good suggestions. And my brain,
it never worked.
Well, and yeah, Liz actually did the little scribbles on her iPad version of it, and something was always going to overlap, but we came up with a creative solution. I have other issues right now about using, so I'm gonna see if I can pull all these out. I'm using all the same yarn, like rainbow colors, and I wanted a rainbow going from red out and then from purple out on the 2 sides. And I will get that out in a second. But Liz, she's doing her own version right now. And what are you doing?
I am scrapping it. And by scrapping, I mean, I went into the pit of despair, and our
our reps, our yarn companies
send us these tiny little balls of stuff.
Don't you want to order the whole set?
Yeah,
here's a little sample.
It'd be great. And we're starting to get a rather large box of them because, you know, for the past 2 years, it's been here. It's
been like, no, we don't want reps to come in because we love you, but there's no space in the shop and there's no time. And so we have all these
a whole bag that I'm playing with right now, and we'll see how far I get.
And she can do that because it's hers. And if I did that, it'd be like, ooh, where's this yarn in the shop? And that people might do that for hers, but we can say, no,
No, this yarn does not exist in the shop.
A handful of them might, but most of them don't. So, you know.
So I started, like, every stripe is a different color.
How about flip it around? Because that's mostly the backside. You got a lot of ends. I mean,
no, I've got a lot of ends everywhere.
Never mind. There are ends everywhere. I tried to keep all of mine on the same side, but isn't that pretty? Because it's just random. And you kind of were thinking about color coordination, and then you said, yeah.
And then it didn't.
Yeah.
Most of it is plant fiber, except for this stripe. This is
so you must be working off of a spring summer pack that we got a while ago.
So anyway, there's all kinds of craziness.
There's a simple idea to this, and once you get the hang of it, it's really cool. We're gonna say go buy the pattern off of Ravelry.
Yeah.
It's not a super expensive pattern, and she's got great charts and pictures and things. So again, we'll be doing this in September. If you don't want to wait till September, start at any time. But I'm working way ahead, so then I can get to all the little fun things I want to do as well. So here's what's happened with mine. And I got all the way through one color repetition, and I started going back out again, and it's getting big enough that I'm running out of yarn. So
I will be running out of yarn on the last rows.
Right. Well, and I'm either gonna have to fudge it, or so this might be big enough. Maybe I didn't need to keep going, but like I felt like with only one color repetition, which ended with the purple here and the red over there, it wasn't really big enough. So I kept going. So here I've got the red going out, and I've got regular green here. This is how I kept it from having a stripe that just went all the way across, which could have been fun. On the other side, instead of green, I've got teal. But then I kept going. Instead of using the green and the teal, I use only one on either side. And I think it looks awesome. And my idea was once I hit the red over here and the purple over here to start going backwards, back out through the rainbow. I have nothing left of this blue. So if I had to do another blue on the other side, I'd need another skein of yarn. And the orange here, I ran out this far from the end of the last row. So of these 220 yard balls, my orange is done now, and I'm thinking maybe I could fudge it by starting my yellow there, but it would be a little off, or I could make thinner stripes on my repeat out here. I could do, these are 6 rows, I could do 4 rows maybe. Like I'm trying to, at some point I'm going to run out of all of them. At this point, like any other stripe is probably going to be too long for the yarn I have left, because let's see, it except for the colors I only used as one stripe, like that teal and that green, right? I had 6 colors?
Yes.
I think, if I don't use, because I started a sample with this cream and then I was like, yeah, I like all the bold colors. So this is how much purple I have left, how much yellow, the red, like all of these big stripes they probably can't do. There's no blue left. There's a lot more of these 2 colors left because they only did 1 stripe instead of 2, even though it was a small and a big stripe for most of these. So one of the reasons I was playing around with this is to figure out how much yarn for a decent size shawl would you need if we were going to suggest kits. But her version, Atty van Noren's version of this, every single stripe was a different color. So it was like 13 different colors, and we weren't going to say, hey, buy 13 skeins of yarn. I mean, you can. We were going to try to make it as cost effective as possible. So if it was just the 6 skeins and going to the purple and the red on this, see, here's the back side, right? Here's the front side. Would it be a big enough shawl? I think it really is the thing, right? And I'm not sure. I mean, this is actually decent size. I felt like when I finished the stripes, it was small. It's small for you.
It's small for me.
It's small for you, but maybe for anyone else, like just knowing that maybe if I rip out that last orange and blue, just to say, here's the size if you go through one color combination. Or at the end, I could do a stripe with the teal and the green on the opposite sides, even though it's not where it's supposed to be in the rainbow. I don't know. I have to think about that. But this was really fun. So that most of my weekend, just because once you get in the rhythm of this, it flies. And it was really, really fun. So that I spent a really good chunk of the weekend on. Just to show you some other stuff. I did bounce around and do a lot of different things. So and we'll go for a few more minutes and then we should probably get ready to open up. The sun was almost trying to come out there. I have stuff. I have many issues, many issues. Only some of them are yarn related. I finished my Rose City rollers. I'm very excited about that. I made a video yesterday for the toe on the Rose City roller. So now I have 5 videos for this sock. 1 about just getting started, 3 about the heel, and 1 about the toe. And what was fun, I haven't tried them on, and I don't think I'm going to do it on camera right now since I spilled goop on my shoes. I did 1 toe. She has 2 different toes in her pattern. And 1 is the square toe and 1 is the rounded toe. And I did 1 of each. So I feel like that's a good sample to have in the shop of whichever one you want to try, the square toe or the rounded toe. And so I still have to weave in ends and such, but you've got a scale there. Can we boot that scale up? Because I'm curious. So a ball of the wacky sacky is like traditional regular cuff length. You should be able to get a whole pair. And Siri on my watch just kicked in. I'm intrigued as to how much yarn this took for my gauge and my size, blah, 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 blah. I have just under half the skein left. I have 47 grams left. I almost have enough to get a second pair out of this with the rolled cuffs. Potentially, if I did a shorter rolled cuff, maybe I could squeeze another pair out. Or if I wanted to do another pair of Rose City rollers of ankle socks with like a different color heel and toe.
Yes.
I could get 2 pairs out of this, which would be really cool. So I figured that was interesting to check in on. I will report back on which toe I seem to like better. I'm also excited because a little bit of knitting last night, just a little. I'm finally, now that June is pretty much over. I'm not done with my socks. I am really close. I'm on the toe of the first of my Hermione's everyday sock. And you were joking before, right, Liz, that like I made a Hermione's only one with this other yarn. So like, look,
now
I have
a pair.
This also has a modified rounded toe. Like there's what makes a rounded toe basically is more rows of just straight knitting between decreases at the start and then fewer at the top. And that's kind of what Hermione's everyday sock does, not as curved as this one. So I'm almost done with this guy. I should be able to, if I get some time today, finish this one up today. So I'll at least have 1 sock done of each of my 3 kinds of socks that I started for June before June is over. That's my goal. I want to finish all of them, but to have at least 1 sock done from each one. I've got a pair done from here. I have 1.5 socks done with my Mina's vanilla sock recipe. I'm hanging on to the heel in case we are able to do our heel class at some point.
My socks and I are in a stalemate.
That's okay. Oh, you were like the heel was doing weird things.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what I did.
Something
about probably not following the directions and
probably. I still have my 2 at a timers that I'm doing, and I wanted to do videos on so many things this month of the heel on this guy, which may eventually happen on my second sock, on starting socks 2 at a time. Like I have a lot of things on my to-do list and only so much time and energy currently. So I just made this a super hot mess. I'm going to continue making socks in, I'm like, what month is next? July. I'm going to keep making my socks. There are so many other things distracting me though. I'm not even going to take this guy out. This is my lace ranunculus. I am really close, but I squirreled on so many things this week, especially crochet, that I haven't finished the bottom of this. I will try this on when the bottom is done. There's about an inch more ribbing to go, and then sleeves, but I can at least try it on. That will either be Thursday or next week. I want to do more on my Papillon because we have a Papillon class coming up in July. That will be on the 9th and the 23rd, Saturdays. If you wanted to have some support in starting your first Papillon and you are local, check that out. Call the shop to sign up for that. I also wanted to show, we talked about the Papillon, not Papillon, Pom-Pom, and all the things in Pom-Pom that I want to make.
So many.
I have not started this cover one yet. I have picked out the colors. I didn't have the energy to wind yarn this weekend, so it hasn't started yet. But the crochet bag thing, I started with a B, and it was really tight and kind of hard to work with, and maybe on gauge, but maybe a little small. I've started the other side of the bag. This is a reversible bag. I've started the other side with a different stitch pattern with a C hook, and I'm super happy with how it's coming out. I'm trying it with the Zoe, which is our yarn of the week until we film tomorrow. So if you want to save 15% on Zoe, now's the time to do it. I'm not sure how many skeins it's going to take. I want to say the pattern indicated maybe only one skein of each. I think it might take more because, you know, I've only gotten this far. But I'm excited to show y'all as it goes how the bag is going. I think it will be a nice, heavy, durable bag made out of, they in the pattern in the magazine use linen, and I'm using a cotton linen blend. And I think it should be really cool. It's going to be a purse. The only thing I don't have, like some of their options for it have an actual bought strap for it. And you can also crochet a strap for it. They want you to fasten it with like adjustable eye hooky things, which we don't have in the shop. So I haven't figured that part out yet. But I'm also hoping the double layer of it will almost be its own lining. So I won't have to line it. When it's reversible.
I think that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah. So you can't really line it because then you don't see the revert, you know, anyway. So I'll keep you all updated on how that goes. But yeah, let's see. 4 of the things I'm showing off this week are crochet. I'm really jumping on the crochet bandwagon. And then there are all these knitting projects that I really want to start, and I'm trying to be patient. But part of what helps me be patient is I have no energy right now. When the cat wakes you up every 2 hours, you don't have much energy left for the day. So I'll do what I can. Anyway, we should get going to set up for the day, for lessons, for shoppers, for things like that. There's only a few more days left in June for anyone who comes to our monthly virtual sit and stitches. You know what I'm talking about. So just keep an eye on the calendar. Our next monthly Sunday virtual sit and stitch is July 17th. It's a Sunday. It'll be 1 to 5 p.m. on Facebook Live and Zoom. And any event we do on Zoom, like sit and stitch tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. and sit and stitch on Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. I might just turn on the camera tonight and take a nap, but you know,
we always say
good.
that.
I say that and then I don't. But any event we have on Zoom, you just need to use the shop phone number to get in.
828-877-3550.
There you go. Tomorrow will be our VSC, our virtual shopping channel, and we will put something else on sale. Maybe some yarns and maybe some notions, maybe only one or the other. But they will be on sale from when we film to when we film again on Wednesday for 15% off with the code product of the week. If you're wondering what you have 24 hours left to spend money on and save money, go to the online shop and click on product of the week category, or come in and ask. So Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzie. We have at least one question right now. We have 2. We have stuff to talk about, but if you want us to talk about something, giving our experience, you should, you can always write us, which is Dear Becky and Lizzie, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. or you can shoot Liz an email.
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
And then we will delve into that on Thursdays. So that is a full week for us. And we are both hopeful to have a full day today. And I'm also hoping I could take a nap at some point. That's fine. It's not going to happen. So thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel or giving us thumbs up and ringing that alert bell or commenting, all those things all help the channel and don't cost you a penny. If you'd like to support the work that we do here, we don't have memberships here yet. We're working on that, but you can always go to patreon.com/sundragon and subscribe over there for a monthly donation. And we put your name in the credits here because we really appreciate all of our patrons. And you get swag over on Patreon if you hang out with us for 3 months over there. So check that out. Anyway, anything else?
No, I ran out of orange.
You ran? Oh, but that's pretty.
So I'm just throwing a different color. They can't see it. I'm just throwing a different color in. So
it's pretty. I'm doing a color block scheme, and doing a scrappy shawl like this. One of the benefits is you can just change it up and it works.
Yeah. When I run out of
if
yarn,
I do that, it may or may not work. I don't know.
Color,
yeah. So I have to think about that. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. I'm gonna try not to trip over my crochet, and I'm gonna turn the camera off. Bye.